What's going on, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. This has been something I've been wanting to do for quite a while now, and we're finally just going ahead and pulling the trigger and getting it done. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into the subject of this video. This is my 2006 Dodge Ram 2500 Mega Cab, 5.9 Cummins, 48RE automatic, 4x4, you know, the normal stuff here. And this has been a project I've been working on for, there's my puppy. This has been a project I've been working on for a year now, but it's been kind of like a, I don't want to say lifelong, but you know, ever since I've gotten into diesels, a dream build of mine. So the goal with this truck is to build a 4-digit horsepower, daily driver, race truck, tow rig, you know, kind of do it all without many compromises. And yeah, I mean, there's not really a budget on it. There's not really any other things except that it also needs to look good. And that's kind of what we've tried to achieve here. So one of the first things I did when I bought the truck was got it repainted. Obviously it's kind of a mess right now, and I got a ton of overspray. That's nice, and it's dusty and the normal stuff. Once it's cleaned up, it looks phenomenal, believe me. So let's check out the interior. Oh, it's a mess too. So it's a Laramie, so really good condition truck to start out with. It's leather inside, heated seats, yada yada yada. About the only thing I've done so far is we went ahead and did a stereo, doubled in stereo. I did this carbon fiber wrap and Momo steering wheel there. So yeah, as I was showing over there, I went ahead and I wrapped all the wood trim, or I guess I shouldn't say all, I just did this side, and I need to finish that side, as you can see. But I really hate that wood trim that they did back in the day, but you know, it is what it is. We have that kind of sporty look going with the carbon fiber. And then this was something I did about a week or two ago. We went ahead, did the quick connect, disconnect steering wheel, the NRG adapter. I'm missing bolts because I need to go get new ones because of course they were stripped. This is actually a part that the quick connect is a part that I robbed off of my other project, with which we will cover at a later time. So come on, there we go. Outside of that, the only other thing I really need to get done on the interior is I need to send this tack off, or the gauge cluster. It's got the normal Dodge, you know, tachometer don't work. The truck came with these Ace Pro gauges, and they're awesome gauges, but I don't really need them, so they will be going away. I'll repurpose them on another project, but I will replace them with different gauges. My plan is probably boost, interstage boost, exhaust back pressure, and then of course I have a CTS3 that'll kind of monitor everything else that I need to monitor. So yeah, I think that kind of wraps up the interior. We'll get a better view of it when it goes together. But I don't know why I slammed that door. Again, it's just kind of a mess. Dude, Tatum, come on, dude. So it obviously, you can see it's been kind of storage for the project because it's been outside for a little while. Let's take a look at the engine bay. This is the most recent project I just tackled. Went ahead and painted the entire engine bay. Obviously you can see it looks phenomenal. Really stoked about how good it looks. Obviously we went ahead and rerouted this harness, and well, basically all you do, you drill a hole here and you feed that whole harness in here. I fed it behind the wiper cowl. It's not done yet, and then it comes out. Basically the headlight harness will come out. I'll tuck it away behind here. You won't really even see that. I had to redo some of the wiring already, or should say the shielding, not the wiring, but I might have to extend some, but you know, it is what it is. Outside of that, I still have to figure out where I'm gonna drop the engine harness connector and the trans harness connector, but I still need to figure out what I'm gonna do about that trans harness. Since it is a toy truck, really, I am gonna be doing a full manual valve body, so I'm gonna try to strip out some of the unneeded wiring, so it's not just a whole bunch of extra wires from the toggle switches for the overdrive, third gear, and all that, and just the OEM stuff. But as far as being a daily driver, of course, we got the amp steps. For the traction bars, we went with the Longhorn fabrication traction bars. I've had them on a few trucks now. I use them on customer builds. I don't think you can really, beat the budget and the quality of these bars. I'm not a big fan of the ladder style. It is what it is. We still have the B&W gooseneck hitch that came with the truck. We do have a gooseneck, so we're gonna keep that. You guys can see here, I have a, Lomax bed cover. Once you have one of these, you kind of can't go back. I had one on my 4th gen, and I thought they were silly at first, but once you start using them, especially once you have a locking tailgate, which I do, I just need to wire it up. Oh, look at all that. It's a whole lot of parts in there. You can see this is our compound kit that we built in-house. Our Mishimoto intercooler, our Mishimoto radiator, and of course the Mishimoto transcooler. We'll go ahead and cover these parts more once we get them out and once they start getting installed. For the hitch, because I do have this roll pan, we went with the Big Hitch products. Oh, the Big Hitch products behind the roll pan hitch. Again, you just really can't beat the quality here. I don't think there's another brand out there that's doing this, or if they do, whatever, because this is high quality stuff. And then of course we have a derail transcooler. This is a big boy, tell you that. I gotta wire in the fan still, but I want to make sure I do all the wiring once, because I like really clean wiring. As you can see, there's already been other stuff done here that we're gonna redo, and I'll cover these transcooler lines in another video when we do like the install of everything. But we did do custom Dash 8 transcooler lines. All right, now we're in my engine and trans build room, and I laid out all the parts that I've accumulated for this build. As you guys can see, I've already assembled the short block pretty much, and we'll go ahead and cover that right now. So to start off with, of course, we went ahead and upgraded from the 5.9 block to a 6.7 block. As the old saying goes, there is no replacement for displacement. The 6.7 is just all around better for spooling up the bigger chargers, makes more power down low. There's really no downside to going 6.7. I found this great deal on this block on Facebook Marketplace. I think I got it for $500, and it came with like a head and the block, the crank. Everything was in pretty decent condition. So we have a stock bore. We were able to just hone it out because we are running such a big clearance as far as the piston to wall gap clearance, So we were able to do that. We'll go ahead and we'll work our way from the bottom up kind of deal. So start off with, we have a stock 6.7 crankshaft, but obviously we went ahead, we TIG welded the crank gear on, and really that just helps with not letting that gear spin under high horsepower, high torque applications. Also, we went ahead, and I will show you further on, but you can see we have 3 extra dowel holes drilled. That is because we are running the fluid dampener full power kit, which has you drill out these extra holes, and you put in 3 more dowels, again, just to keep that harmonic balancer on there. So for the bottom end, again, stock 6.7 crankshaft. I went with the 14mm main studs, mainly for the simplicity. I didn't want to deal with a girdle, and the 14 mils, they'll hold up all the power that we're looking to make here. These are like what you'll find in a 12 valve. The original factory size was 12 mil. So the machine shop, they went ahead and drilled and tapped, and now we're running 14 mils. And as you can see, you can't really see, but you get a good look at the bottom at least. These are the Wagler Street Fighter rods, rated to 1500 horsepower. Again, right where we're looking to make with the ARP L19 hardware. And then outside of that, bearings, of course, we're running Mall HX bearings. These front 3, I think I'm mixing H and HXs to get my clearance where I wanted it. And down there, believe me, but you can't see it, But we have the Trend DLC coated tool steel wrist pins, and of course we got new piston coolant jets because, you know, why not? They're like $5. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up the bottom end there. Moving on to the fun, shiny new stuff. Let's start over here. So for the turbo setup right now, originally we're doing compounds. Originally it was gonna be a S467 with the 488. Went ahead and changed the primary to a forced inductions 472/87 with a 1.0 housing. I also got a 9.0 housing in case I need it. So we have that. And we have a power driven diesel Aggressor 88. It's a 488 96 with a 132 T6 housing. And that is going to be our air setup. At least this setup will be. I got a few ideas of different things we'll try and, you know, go from there. This setup right here is proven on quite a number of trucks to be reliable, and it can do kind of a jack of all trades where you can tow with it. You can, you know, obviously make a lot of horsepower with it and kind of do it reliably. Of course, when I say reliably, you know, 1,500 horsepower, when you're talking about this kind of power and this torque, nothing is truly reliable, but you know, we try our best. We'll start with the Valvetrain here. For the camshaft, I went with a Hamilton 188 220 cast cam. I know they say that you should be running a billet cam at this power, but you know, that's one of those things where from the people that I am talking to and a couple guys that are kind of helping me out here, should be just fine with a cast cam. Of course, you got to go with their the Hamilton cams, tappets to match. So moving on, we have, come on, open that up. Got a set of XDP, which are, you know, let's just be honest, they're Manton products, but they're XDP branded. 7/16. Forgot what wall. They're the thick walls. Let's see if we got it here. No, but they're the competition and race performance push rods. They are the thicker wall of the 7/16 Manton variety. Of course, we got the XDP billet valve bridges. That's all that's in here. Like I said, we have the fluid damper harmonic balancer with the full power kit to match. They come with the upgraded hardware, and again, you guys can see allows you to run the extra dowels, which is interesting. I'm just noticing that it's only letting you run one extra dowel. Huh. All right, maybe I'll read the instructions. But again, super cool product. Of course, we had to upgrade the flex plate, flywheel, whatever you want to call it. This is a gear end, go end. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, but billet flex plate. It matches their triple disc billet converter that we have, which we will kind of move on to that. And as you can see, it has basically double the amount of bolts to match up to the converter. Just again, holding all that power. We're gonna bolt it to the motor with ARP hardware. This is actually a cool piece from Logan built. Look at that, come on. So I guess with the full manual valve bodies, you need to have some adjustment. Again, this is my first use of a full manual valve body, so we'll kind of see how it goes, but this product comes highly recommended, so we're gonna go ahead and try it out. Fast has hooked it up with their 290 gallon per hour titanium signature series lift pump, and I think we're gonna be just fine with all the fuel demands of our Dynamite diesel fuel system. We got a 12 millimeter Dynamite stroker CP3 that will go on the engine itself. Then we have a fleece, believe me, it's in one of these boxes, but it looks like a dual fueler. We have a fleece dual fueler kit. Of course, I had to go with the nice billet wheel. And I'll run a stock 6.7 pump over the 12 millimeter stroker. you know, eventually we'll upgrade to bigger 12 mils duals, or maybe we'll go to a 14 mil, but for now, that's the setup we have. My boy Skyler over there at Dynamite told me I had to go ahead and get the 6.7 rail pressure sensor, so of course we did that. And for fuel, just multiplied this by 6, but we have a set of, come on. We have a set of Dynamite diesel. Come on, there we go. Dynamite diesel, 200% over injectors. I'm not sure if there was body mods done to this. I'm not 100% sure. I'll get more info on that. So over here for the head, we went with the power-driven diesel ported 6.7 head. There's basically everything you could do as far as porting goes to a stock shelf head. I didn't want to deal with clearing off this shelf and having, you know, the bolt-on style and having to rattle loose and all that yada yada. So stock shelf, we're going to use the stock intake, maybe a tube intake just for the looks, not that it needs it. And for the valve springs, we went ahead and continued our theme with the XDP/Manton Valvetrain setup. Got the firing cut out for the Hazley firing kit, which we got right here. For those of you that don't know, let's see. What this does is, instead of a normal head gasket, where it actually holds in compression as well as, you know, keeping the coolant and oil going where it should go, this head gasket, they cut out the original firing that's in the gasket, and you get it replaced with this thick boy of a O-ring, stainless steel O-ring. Basically, you put this here. You can see how that kind of sticks up. You put, you know, obviously all 6, you don't want to forget. Then you put the head on, then you torque it down, you clamp it down, and now that becomes your sealing surface. Your sealing for combustion. And what that does is, as you're running higher cylinder pressures, it just keeps all that pressure inside where it really counts. You know, even with quality head studs, you know, 14 mil head studs, whatever, you're always going to have a little bit of flex. You're always going to have, you know, some distortion. You'll be lifting, whatever. These rings will keep that cylinder pressure inside on top of the piston, making power pretty much at all times, as long as you maintain. The thing that only downside to them is that you do have to, you know, torque your studs quite a bit more than you would, say, if you were running basically just a stock head gasket, or even just a O-ringed head with basically a stainless wire. For holding down all that head, all that power, we went ahead, of course, ARP 625 head studs. Look at those. Gosh dang. Like I said, it's just a shame that all this beautiful, beautiful hardware you'll pretty much never see again. Well, you will eventually, but you know, this looks so pretty. It almost just looks pretty just sitting out, but of course it's meant to be beat on, so we're gonna go ahead and use it. Finally. We got a new oil pump. I also have a new oil cooler. I just can't find it right now. I don't think you guys really care to see a basic oil cooler. Looks like every other Cummins oil cooler, just brand new. Of course, new OEM Cummins pump, oil pump. Really shouldn't be building a motor without replacing this stuff. It's really just cheap insurance. I mean, these pumps are 150 bucks, something like that. And went ahead and got a new oil pressure regulator. Again, 15, 20 bucks, something like that. And when you're talking the expense of everything else here, it really, you know, really a drop in the bucket. So that wraps up pretty much what it takes to make a 1500 horsepower street engine. You know, starting with the bottom end, we got the head, of course, fuel system, everything else. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked to get this together, and hopefully we'll be making some horsepower here. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video here. It's getting kind of long as it is, so we'll cover the transmission in another video. But excuse me, again, thank you guys for watching. This has been something I've been wanting to do for a while now, so we're gonna go ahead and keep at it. I also want to take this time out to thank the companies that are really helping me out on this build here. Mishimoto, Fast Fuel Systems, Randy's Transmissions, Dynamite Diesel, and XDP Diesel. Those companies have been really instrumental in this build and in this whole process, you know, between help and obviously the quality products that you see here. I didn't cover the Mishimoto products. We will once we install them back on the truck. But again, huge thank you to those companies. Thank you guys so much for, you know, believing in this project and helping us out here. And I also want to thank my buddy Josh McCormick. He's got his own YouTube channel, Horse Torques Diesel, but he's been really helpful as far as, you know, answering questions, helping me out on specs, you know, things like that. He's got a very informative channel as well, so go ahead and check that out. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. God, I just like slapping this thing. It's like that meme. You can just, you can fit so much horsepower in that motor. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and guess we'll see you next time.